Hello and welcome back to the second part and the finale of the IGN bracket of the best game ever, which we've just redone ourselves and reseeded it according to Metacritic. So, last episode, we'd got all the way to the end of round one, and so we are now at round two, and there's been some big losses from round one. So, before we even begin to getting into round two, I just want everyone to pour out a drink and just tell me which games they were sorry to see go down into the losers bracket, which doesn't actually exist, but we're calling it a losers bracket anyway. Spence, anything that you're gutted that just isn't going to be coming up here in round two?
I mean, yeah. I think the biggest one for me is probably Hades. Because Hades is sick. It is sick. But my review boys playing that game just puts it at a deficit.
Yeah, it just got handed a big fat L and just went straight down like the loser it is. Unlucky, son. Speaking of unlucky, Bill, I can guess what your one's going to be. You got handed a big fat L.
There was a big scalp that got knocked off for me. And that game is Metal Gear Solid going out to Rock Band. I was so amazed that you guys followed my lead with that one. Yes, all joking aside, yes, one of my favorite games of all time. It probably comes up at number 4 or 5, probably in my list. Half-Life 2 ended up going out first round again. So we might have to run this bracket back somehow, or I'll try and do it on another podcast somewhere where Half-Life can get a bit further than going out the first round.
Yeah, it was a grim time. That was just a really hard. I mean, it's been a hard bracket all round. There's been some which have just been clear wins, 3-0s, and there's been quite a few of those. But there's been some ones which have taken falls. My biggest fall was Dishonored going out to God of War. It's such a hard choice that was, and I was terrified that God of War was going to go out on the last episode because of that vote. Thank God it's not. It's still there for now. Now, listener, remember, we are now starting to do this on YouTube as well. So if you want to come along and view the bracket and view us and view our sexy faces, then just come onto the YouTube channel. You can find it. Go onto YouTube, type in PS We Trust. You'll find us pretty quickly. I'll also, for the audio-only listeners, I will put the link to the YouTube video in the description so you can look at it. And final thing before we dive into the actual bracket, remember that we've got a new series launching, which is going to be a once a month episode, and it's voted for by you. It's called Spoiler Cast from the Past, and we've each put a game forward for your choice. And those games are Metal Gear Solid by yours truly.
For me, I've picked out a classic. I've gone for Heavy Rain.
And for me, I chose Devil May Cry 1.
So it's going to be a hard vote. So please get in there. The voting closes towards the end of October. So don't delay, put your vote in, and let's see what we're going to be covering for the first ever episode. Now, as we move into round two, let's start this off the same rotation we had before. Spencer, it starts with you, then goes on to Phil, and then comes on to me.
So, listeners, our first matchup in round two is going to be The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time versus Pokemon Red. Now, Davey looks devastated, but I'm going to say my piece first. I've never actually played Ocarina of Time. Davey looks stunned.
What? You haven't played Ocarina of Time?
I've not, no. But I know it's amazing, and I'm so done with Pokemon that it's irrelevant. Ocarina of Time wins for me. It gets my vote just because I'm so done with Pokemon. I can't be asked. Phil, mate, what about you?
For me, to move this on a little bit quickly, my vote would go for Pokemon Red. It's a game I've spent way more time in than Legend of Zelda. That was always my brother's choice back in the day. We would tend to have games that we played a little bit solo, and he would be the one to play the Zelda games. So I was more a Pokemon kid back in the day, so my vote, Pokemon Red.
I gotta say, Bulbasaur, You may be my boy, but Link's just got to give it to you. It's Ocarina of Time, and I'm sorry to say, but Bulbasaur, he's gone.
That was a sad Bulbasaur noise.
Oh, I feel really sorry to let him go, but Link just shot him with the fire arrow, and he's over. He's over. Ocarina of Time, sensational game.
So Ocarina of Time takes it 2-1.
Next up on our list, we have The Last of Us versus Super Mario Brothers 3. Davey, where you falling with this one?
Easy. Last of Us. Not a shadow of a doubt. As I said on the last episode, I'm not into 2D Mario. It's just not my cup of tea. And as much as we got it through last time, and I think it clean sweeped on the last round, if I remember rightly, it's just not for me. And so when it's going up against a game that I actually genuinely love, I gotta give it the L.
Spencer, I think this one's obvious.
Yeah, let's be honest, lads. Come on. What's my favourite game of all time? It's The Last of Us 1. Easiest shit in the world. I adore Mario 3, but it is irrelevant how much I like Mario 3 because we all know I like Last of Us a hell of a lot more. So my vote, straight to Last of Us.
And for me, Spence, you want to click that button once more time, give it another up vote. The Last of Us beats Super Mario 3 for me. Super Mario 3, not my favourite Super Mario, and The Last of Us, an incredible game. And I've just got to say thanks once again, Davey, for pushing me to play that game. Because, yes, that's jumped up into my top games of all time, really. I think that one's going to be a hard one to beat.
That next round is going to be juicy. Have you seen that? Oh my God, that's going to be tough. All right. So, the next one we have Bioshock versus Super Mario 64. Now, this one's easy for me. Bioshock is just one of those gaming experiences that I'll just never forget. I love it. I adore it. My vote's going for Bioshock, without a shadow of a doubt.
I feel like Davey's going to look surprised at this, but he shouldn't. I've never actually finished Bioshock. And he's looking surprised, but I've told you this before.
Oh, yeah, you don't know what happens, do you?
No.
Oh.
I know there's a fat twist.
You haven't been spoiled it either.
No.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
We need to put that into a spoiler cast from the past as well. That's a potential vote then, I think. Because it'd be great to revisit Bioshock.
Oh,
I have it as well.
Please.
I have it on PC and PlayStation.
Any listeners... In fact, I borrowed your copy and platinumed Bioshock 1 and then gave it back to you, didn't I?
Yeah, you did, yeah.
Oh my God. I just went back and played it again. I was like, yeah, can I borrow that? I really fancy playing it again. Went back, platinumed it, gave it back to you. And I was like, you going to play it finally? Yeah, I'll get round to it. And then, he's just been playing picking up ducks or whatever fucking shit games he was playing on for
platinums.
Yeah, 99.
Chicken on the run, mate. It's chicken on the run.
Fucking game of our time. Shocking.
Yeah, I'm sorry to say, mate, but I know that game's amazing. I know there is a fat twist. I don't know what it is. I'm glad I don't know what it is. But I've actually played Mario 64 and I adore Mario 64. So just because I haven't actually played Bioshock to fruition, I have to give it to Mario 64. I love that game. I've not actually played Mario 64 to fruition as well, actually. Being honest. I beat the game, but not how you're supposed to. I beat it at 16 stars. But I love it, and I would happily play it again and again, all day, every day. I love Mario 64. It's so fun to just play. So that's my vote.
Out of these two games, the one that I would love to revisit is Bioshock. Please take me back to Rapture. I love that game. I originally played that on the PC rather than the PlayStation, so I'd love to go through and play that on the PlayStation version. For a future spoiler cast from the past. So potentially that might be my next vote. We'll have to see. So my vote, Bioshock on this one, boys.
I'm sad to see Mario 64 go, but I'm happy for Bioshock.
Wise choice there, Phil. I was worried, not going to lie. Every time it's down to you for the deciding vote, and it's something that me and Spence disagree on, I get really worried. Oh, fucking hell. Speaking of worried.
Oof.
Okay.
Here we go.
I'm
Roll
up
the
next.
shoulders. Get ready for this one. This one's going to be a fight.
So this set is Uncharted 2 Among Thieves.
No, it's not.
It's Uncharted 3.
Oh, you're right.
We
you're
changed it. We
Changed
couldn't
it.
change the bracket. So it's
Yeah,
Uncharted 3.
you're right. You are right. It's Uncharted 3 against Bloodborne. I'll go. Fucking hell, they're both such sick games. Oh my god, this is a PlayStation matchup if I've ever heard. Jesus Christ. Okay. I want to revisit them both as well. Fuck me, this is odd. Okay. Uncharted 3 is amazing. Bloodborne's amazing. I've spent more time with Bloodborne. And I want to go back to Bloodborne. We played Bloodborne recently. I want to go back and platinum it myself. I want a port to PS5 or a Bloodborne 2. And I'm happy with how Uncharted finished, so I don't want another Uncharted. But I'm keen for more Bloodborne. I love that game. I'm excited for it. And I think that bit of hype towards Bloodborne that's inside me sways me in Bloodborne's favour. Davey looks so worried.
Davey, do you want me to take this one? Because you might end up being, not to give it away, but you might be the deciding vote here.
Yeah, go on.
Okay, as our listeners know, I'm a massive Bloodborne fan. I'm smashing it currently, playing through the story. But my vote here will go to Uncharted 3, Drake's Deception. That is my favourite Uncharted of the series. And I would like to revisit again. I think any of these games that are sort of going through to round 2 and round 3 probably will be possibly put forward to Spoilercast from the past. Definitely, I think I'm going to look back on this and take some inspiration, because I would like to go back and potentially platinum Uncharted, because these are the games that I would like to play through multiple times, and I don't own the platinum for any of them. So,
This is
over to you, Davey.
This is such a bastard. This is the hardest one so far out of all of them, without a shadow of a doubt. Bloodborne was my first introduction to the Soul series. I've previously stated on the podcast that I'd rate it as a 10 out of 10, an absolute masterpiece. But it's going up against Uncharted 3. And Uncharted 3 for me is one of those experiences that when I finished it on PlayStation 3, I was just so blown away. And the only game that beat it on PS3 really is probably tied up there with Metal Gear Solid 4 and with not far behind The Last of Us. It's one of those experiences that I literally will never forget. And I'm sorry, Bloodborne, you're going in the bin. This Uncharted 3 is... I've got the platinum on it. I got the platinum on all three of the original trilogy of Uncharted games, and I'm jonesing to go back. I'm jonesing to go back and play it again. I adore it. It's just a masterpiece in storytelling.
Lock it in, Spence, before he changes his mind.
I thought for sure you'd pick Bloodborne.
I know. I know. This hurts. This hurts. This really hurts.
Okay, next up, we've got Metroid Prime versus Minecraft. So let's move on swiftly. Davey, what are you thinking?
I'm voting Metroid Prime. I given Minecraft a kind of a buy on the last one just because of how important it is to gaming. It doesn't get any further than that for me. We tipped the hat. It's gone up against Metroid Prime. It's one of the best Metroidvanias. Not the best, but certainly one of. What about you, Spence?
See, I've not played Prime properly anyway, and I've played a shitload of Minecraft. But I still think I'm giving it to Prime. Just because Minecraft was huge. It was huge. It still is huge. But I think I just respect Prime more. And because of that, I'm giving it to Metroid Prime.
I'll agree with you, boys. Metroid Prime is one of those games that was definitely like my brother's game back in the day. But I have played through it on the GameCube, and I do love it. So Metroid Prime on this one. I've spent way more time in Metroid than I have in Minecraft.
Fair. We got our first... No, it's not our first 3-0 of this bracket, is it? On this line? Last of Us did a 3-0, didn't it? Of course it did.
Of course it did.
Okay, so we have... Up next, we've got Red Dead Redemption or Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. I'm giving this to Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. I would have been quite happy if Red Dead didn't make it through on the last round. And I love Call of Duty 4. I think it's just a landmark in terms of first-person shooters on console, and it really set up Call of Duty's kind of domination that it's just had every single year on its release, and it kind of started here with that one. I definitely got to give it to Call of Duty 4. What about yourself, Phil?
Considering playtime in both of these games, Call of Duty, I've spent so much more time, much more in Modern Warfare 2 as opposed to Modern Warfare, but Modern Warfare will take my vote on this one.
Well, as a shocker to no one, it's a clean sweep. I'm going for Modern Warfare as well. Haven't even played Red Dead. I did just notice, I'm glad it's eliminated because I've just realised I misspelt the word red on the thing.
Oh yeah, read. Why didn't it read deed? That would be so much better. Read deed redemption.
I'm glad that's gone. my mistake is out the window. Clean sweep. And it's back to me. Our next matchup for the evening is Street Fighter 2 versus Chrono Trigger. And then this one, I think, is quite hard because they're two very different games. Both, well, I don't think Chrono Trigger is as important as Street Fighter 2 because it's just not. But, fucking hell, this one's really hard, actually. I'm going to give it Street Fighter 2. Street Fighter 2. I spent so much more time on Street Fighter 2, and I love Chrono Trigger, and I do want to revisit it. And I'd probably be quite happy never playing Street Fighter 2 again because I don't need to. I've played it enough, and I appreciate it enough. But if someone came up to me and said, "Do you want a game of Street Fighter 2?" I'd be like, "Fuck yeah!" You just have to. It's just such a blessed game. It gets the win for me.
Yes, it's like law, isn't it? If someone comes up to you and says, "Yo, Street Fighter 2," you'd be like, "Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Calm. Of course you would. Yeah, easy Street Fighter 2. Not even a question. I haven't played Chrono Trigger. I know that a lot of people love it, but Street Fighter 2 is the GOAT.
You can put the point on Street Fighter 2, boys.
Another clean sweep.
Another clean sweep. Easy. Davey, mate, you might hate this one, but Phil, you're up next.
Oof. Right, so we have Super Metroid versus the God of War 2018 version. Spencer, do you want to hit this one first?
Sure. I have a lot of respect for Super Metroid. I know it did a lot. I know it's a fantastic game. But I've still never played it. Whereas I've played God of War 2018. I won't say I loved it as much as most people did, but I did really enjoy the game, and I enjoyed every second with it. It's got to be God of War for me. If I'd played Super Metroid, maybe my opinion would change. But it just has to go to God of War. That game's great.
I think we all know what Davey's going to vote for here, so maybe I'll just jump in.
Please.
As much as I'm a retro head and I love the Metroid series, it is beloved, and I own Super Metroid, the original one. I believe I have the box version somewhere, maybe in storage, but my recent playtime has been with God of War, and I am really enjoying the experience. I don't love the game as much as everybody else seems to, but it is a great game, and I can't take it away from it. So my vote will go God of War on this one.
Davey, I saw you put up praying hands when I said God of War. Can I guess what you're going to say?
It's obvious, isn't it? Yeah, God of War. Definitely clean sweep. Sweep.
That's not what I thought you were going to do.
What, you thought I was going to vote for Super Metroid?
I thought you prayed because I kept God of War safe. So you could still vote for Super Metroid.
Oh, no. No. I knew that if you'd voted it, it was definitely going to go through, because I'm definitely voting God of War. Yeah.
Oh, bless.
Yeah, definitely.
And you know I just cast a vote to mess you over.
I know. I need cacked my pants last time that happened. All right, so we are back round to myself, and the next round of round 2, which is Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 and Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Now, I'm definitely voting for this for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. As much as Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 is a landmark game from my childhood, I've got no interest in really going back to that series, whereas I play Smash Bros. Ultimate on the weekly. I adore it. In fact, I've got a tournament next weekend for it. So I adore that game. I adore that game. Definitely easy win for me. What about yourself, Phil?
I think both of these series beloved in my household. Absolutely loved Tony Hawk back in the day. Really like Smash Brothers. It's the reason I buy Nintendo consoles, to play Smash Brothers. If a new Tony Hawk's came out, would I buy it? Probably not. I don't know, depending on the price point and depending on the soundtrack, really. But if a new Super Smash Brothers came out, I'm buying it. So my point, Super Smash Brothers, boys.
Right, and then I'm left. I wonder what he's going to pick. Ooh. Easiest decision of my fucking life. It goes straight to Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. The Smash series has done so much for me in terms of making friends and having fun and just wasting my life away playing a video game. Easy choice. Easy fucking choice.
3-0s galore on this.
Yeah, this is quite easy actually. other than
this right now.
So for the next matchup, we have Portal 2. Or Portals 2, as Phil likes to say, against Shadow of the Colossus. For me, I've still not played Shadow of the Colossus. I know it's fantastic, but I was literally playing Portal 2 last week with my mate. So this easily goes to Portal 2 for me. That game is amazing, and it introduced me into PC gaming. Easiest choice.
This is tough. This is really tough. I think I'm going to have to give it to Portal. I think I am. Because Portal 2 has not only an amazing co-op experience, which me and Phil did together with PS3 and PC, working together, which was just insane at the time. It still blows my mind today, actually, how they actually managed to get that work. I mean, it didn't work for most of the PS4 generation. It's got an incredible story as well. And, you know, being able to just have like a potato knocking about with you for like the entire game. It's so funny. It's so good. And it is actually just a really, really good story, a good narrative experience, as well as having fantastic co-op, fantastic puzzles. It's one of the best games of all time. And as much as I love Shadow of the Colossus, and as impactful as that game is to me from its story, it can't be the experience I had with Portal 2, let alone the design and everything that went into that game. It can't beat it. I imagine this clean slate, Phil?
I think this is going 3-0, 100%. Portal 2 is probably, well, it's in my top 3 of all time, across all generations, across all consoles. I was a massive fan at the time when it came out, bought everything Portal. You know, you just look behind me. I own so much geek chic, and it was no different when Portal came out. I bought Atlas's and Peabody's Portal guns, so I have those in storage because I just love the game so much, and I can't wait to revisit it. And yeah, it blows my mind that we were able to link up over PC and PS3 and play that through, Davey. It was incredible. Good times.
Great times.
Next up, we have Assassin's Creed Black Flag, and we have The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. Davey, do you want to jump on this one?
Yeah. I'm going to keep this short and sweet, really. I put 80 hours into The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. I put over 120 into Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag to get the platinum. I adored that game. I loved every single minute of it. Whereas the combat in The Witcher 3 and just the sheer amount that's there in that game just really put me off. I like being quite completionist with games, and to be able to see like a mini map or a world map where you finally clear an area, and then you walk into a new town and all of a sudden it all auto pre-populates everything again. And you just think, oh, for fuck's sake. And so you end up just not moving on. And it was enough to turn me off from the game, which Assassin's Creed didn't make me do. Therefore, I'm voting for Black Flag. Plus, you got sea shanties. I mean, you just can't beat a sea shanty. Definite Assassin's Creed for me.
How about you, Spence? Can you beat a sea shanty?
Well, I do love a sea shanty because I adore Sea of Thieves, but that's not on this list, unfortunately. As I stated on the last episode, I've not played Black Flag. However, to keep this nice and short, I enjoyed Assassin's Creed 2 more than I enjoyed The Witcher 3, and Black Flag is supposed to just be a better game than Assassin's Creed 2. So easily, Black Flag is going to get my vote. Phil, mate, what about yourself?
I think out of these two games, if I saw them both in CEX and I was thinking which one would I want to spend some time in and experience, I think it would be The Witcher over Assassin's Creed, because I've never been the biggest Assassin's fan. So unfortunately, there's a point there, but these are strange games to be getting through this far within the bracket, because some games that have got knocked out in the first round should be up here instead of these games, 100% for me. But that's the way the cookie has crumbled tonight.
Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things that the way we've done the seeding, just to give you guys a reminder on this, is we haven't seeded it ourselves. We've done it based on Metacritic results. And that was a way then that we didn't just have, The Last of Us and Half-Life and whatever else we voted as number one seeds just go through to win the bracket, So this is a way for us to keep it so that we don't know how it's actually going to turn out in the end. But we thought it was probably the easiest and the safest way.
The fairest way.
The fairest way, definitely, yeah. Definitely the fairest way to be able to actually seed it and go from there. So it does mean that some games shouldn't deserve to get this far, but they are. All right then, up next we've got Batman Arkham City. Oh, fuck me. And Metal Gear Solid. Oh, Jesus Christ. This is one that this should not happen. This should not happen. I mean, of course, Spence putting 3-0 into Arkham City. No chance. Metal Gear Solid is my favorite game of all time. It's a landmark in gaming. It revolutionized gaming and really opened my eyes as to what gaming would be in the future. And I've got to give it to Kojima. It's Metal Gear Solid for me. Plus, it's got the best bosses of any game ever. So, yeah, easy win. As much as I love Arkham City, which I fucking love, platinum that game. I'll be sorry to see you go, Arkham City. Spence, what are you thinking?
Right, well, as we all know, I've not played MGS1, but I've played Arkham City and I did love it. But I think I have too much respect for the Metal Gear series and for Kojima to not vote for Metal Gear Solid 1. So even though I've not played it, I think you just shouting to me about it all the time it's just convinced me.
It's honest to God, if you don't enjoy that game, I don't know if we can be friends anymore. I don't know what I'll do. If you're like, I just didn't like it, I honestly don't know how I'll react. I honestly don't know what I'll do. I think it would just rock my world completely.
I'll be getting a lot less invites over yours.
Yeah, definitely, mate.
Phil, mate, how about you? What's your vote?
Considering I've not played Arkham City and I am a Kojima-san fanboy, I talk about Death Stranding literally every episode and every opportunity I can. Metal Gear series is no different. I've loved every single one. So my vote here will go for Metal Gear Solid. And Metal Gear Solid actually is one of the options within our spoiler cast from the past. It was Davey's vote. So potentially we'll be playing through that. And I can't wait to revisit it on the original hardware.
We'll have to see how the cookie crumbles with that one.
It's going to be interesting.
Suspense, over to you.
Right, so next up, we have Grand Theft Auto 5 versus Castlevania Symphony of the Night. And now this one, I feel like it's harder than it should be. Because I really want to vote for Castlevania. But I don't think I can. Because GTA 5 has done too much. I'm just going to keep it short. I'm not going to think about it too much. I'm going to pick GTA 5. I kind of hate myself for doing it, but I'm going to do it. Oh my god, wait, it felt... Oh my god.
You can't vote based on what you think.
I'm not going to. I'm sticking with GTA 5. But if you pick GTA 5 now, Davey's going to be crushed.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Davey. I'll jump in and I'll put my vote for GTA. You know, I've played that series a lot more than I have the Castlevania series. As much as I've been really loving the Metroidvania of Fist, and I would like to go back to Castlevania, my vote here is going for Grand Theft Auto 5. So I'm very sorry, Davey, but it doesn't matter what you think now.
I'm crushed, boys. I'm crushed. I actually am crushed. Symphony of the Night is a masterpiece. I don't think people will look back at GTA 5 the way that they look back on Symphony of the Night. Symphony of the Night, pull one out, best Metroidvania ever made. Unfortunately, you've fallen to the power of Grand Theft Auto 5. I did all I could for you. It's the way the cookie crumbles, boys. That
Another
cookie.
big scalp.
That cookie. Damn that cookie!
Okay, guys, moving swiftly on, we have Dark Souls versus Persona 5 Royale. I'm going to go to... I'll leave you in your misery a little bit longer there, Davey. I'm going to go to Spencer on this one.
All right. To be fair, it's probably best to go to me because I'm probably the only one here that's played Persona 5, I think. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what this other game was, unless it was like something huge. It doesn't matter. Dark Souls fucking wins so free.
Yeah.
It is free. I do love Persona 5, but it's Dark Souls, man. That's such a phenomenal game. It's the easiest choice. Dark Souls all the way.
Yeah, I second you on that one. I mean, I haven't played Persona 5 Royale because I'm not a total weeb, but Dark Souls is Dark Souls. It's going to take something really special to beat that. What about yourself, Phil?
Everybody knows how much of a Souls fan I am, so bang another tick on that one, Spence. Dark Souls 3-0.
Clean, sweet baby.
So coming over to me then, we've got Goldeneye 007 versus Journey. I got to give it to Journey. I said everything last episode about why I think this game deserves to be this high. And as revolutionary as Goldeneye was, it doesn't play very well. It didn't play very well then. It's just we had no other way to be able to. If I could go back in time, I'd literally slap whoever created that N64 controller into oblivion, into the sun, because that controller is the worst thing known to man. It's terrible. I'd rather play on the fucking Wii U Fisher-Price touchpad than that. Yeah, Journey easy, hands down for me. Not a question. What about yourself, Spence?
Well, like I said last episode, I haven't played GoldenEye 007, and I played World of Warcraft to oblivion, and I still chose Journey over that. So this is quite easy. It's another vote for Journey. Phil, mate, what are you saying?
I can't believe you guys. GoldenEye's my vote. It's a game that I've loved and I love having on my shelf, and I've loved the time with it, and I would still break it out now with the N64 and get 4 handsets and show you guys how to actually play an FPS.
There's no way I have to read this next one again. Also, it's a horrible matchup as well.
Oh, no. Oh, I just looked at the matchup. This is grim. Oh, this is grim.
Right. The next matchup and the last matchup of round 2 is the game we cannot mention too, and I fell for it last episode, so I'm not saying it this time.
Try it. It might have changed. It's a different episode.
Nah.
Different rules on a different episode.
That's true. I think you'd be fine.
Davey hovering.
No, I'm not hovering. Hands are off. I got my hands on my Venom drink. My Venom drink.
You shut the fuck up. It's the game we cannot mention too versus Final Fantasy VII 1997. Wow. What a rough fucking matchup.
It's grim.
This one actually sucks.
Yeah, it's grim.
But I'll make it quick and easy for me. I still haven't played the original properly, and I adore the game we can't mention too. It gets my vote immediately. I didn't have to think about this at all.
This is really difficult. If this had been the first entry, this would be a different story, but it's not. It's the second. And Final Fantasy VII to me is one of those landmark games from my childhood that still stands up today. And I've got to give it to Final Fantasy, as much as it breaks my heart to see the game that can't be mentioned too not be picked by me. But it's just the way it is. Phil, it's over to you to settle this tiebreak.
I think you've only put it to a tiebreak because you know what I would vote for. Everyone knows how much I love the series that cannot be mentioned, and specifically the game that cannot be mentioned, the second game in that series. It's very hard to skirt around the name, isn't it? Because I really want to say it. If it wins, we're all going to have to say it, right? But yeah, sorry, Final Fantasy. The game that cannot be mentioned 2 is my vote here.
I don't think we've ever said the game that can't be mentioned so often in like such quick succession. You know?
Well, I tried to vary it and say the series that cannot be mentioned, but now we've gone back to the game that cannot be mentioned. So, yeah.
So listen, that concludes the end of round 2. We are now moving into round 3. So this is now where, if games have managed to get to this point, they're either obscenely lucky or they're superb experiences. So this is where it actually gets really, really tough for us. And the first one to kick that off is The Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time, or The Last of Us. Now, listener, just to give you a bit of insight, Ocarina of Time is the number 1 seed on this bracket. It's the highest Metacritic out of the entire list of games that we've run through over the last 2 episodes. But it doesn't matter. It's up against The Last of Us. And The Last of Us is one of those landmark games that I adore. It's in my top 5, easy. I love this game. I'm sorry, Ocarina, you may be the best Zelda, but you ain't one of the best games. Spence is currently brandishing the Platinum Trophy for Last of Us 1, and he is popping off. He's probably really worried. Phil, how are you voting on this?
Well, there's no PlayStation biased here, right? I know we're on a PlayStation podcast. We primarily play, well, you guys do primarily play PlayStation. I'm a bit PC, a bit PlayStation. But for me, The Last of Us definitely takes the cookie in this one. There's no crumble in here for The Last of Us. That takes my vote, so I'm assuming that's going to be a 3-0, Spence.
Let's not be stupid. Let's not be stupid at all. Look what's in my hands. It's The Last of Us 1 Platinum, which I actually have. Yes. Yo, fuck Ocarina of Time. There was no chance it was winning. Let's go. 3-0, baby.
Oh, this is a fucker. This is an absolute
It's all
fucker.
going to be hard now, isn't it?
This is a fucker.
Yeah.
So, for our next set, we have Bioshock versus Uncharted 3, Drake's Deception. Like I said, didn't play Bioshock to completion. This is going to be a much harder choice for you boys than it is for me, so I'll get my vote out of the way. Easily picking Uncharted 3. Easily. But that's because I haven't played Bioshock. So it is what it is. Up to you boys to decide who says what.
Do you want to go next, Phil, or me?
Well, do you want to make it interesting? Because I think it's obvious what I'm going to pick here.
Okay. I'm voting for Bioshock. Bioshock is an experience which at the time I remember I was on lunch. When I got to a part in the game that Spence hasn't experienced yet, I was working local at the time, and so I was able to go home and have an hour lunch from home. And I got to that part, and I remember I was literally playing it and eating a sandwich at the same time because I was just obsessed with this game. And I got to that moment, and I literally dropped the sandwich. Like, it literally physically fell out of my mouth, and it went all over my.
Of a good game.
Oh, it went all over my work uniform, and it was like I can't remember what it was. I had cheese or something, cheese and ham, and it was just literally all over my fucking suit. And I literally was just like, I just couldn't believe it, and I hadn't had a twist actually get me like that. I'd had it in movies, I'd watched Sixth Sense and stuff like that, but this just fucking rocked me to the core. And I haven't had that kind of twist ever again. It's something truly special. It's not only revolutionary in the way that it delivered its story and the audio logs that were found through it and the world building that was shown through just ambient kind of storytelling that Last of Us really took to a whole other level. It was kind of really put into the mix here in Bioshock, and it's just a special game. It's a truly special game, and as much as Uncharted 3 is the pinnacle of that series, it doesn't reach that same height for me. So I've got to give it to Bioshock. But Phil, it comes down to you to either agree with me or to break my heart.
I'm really sorry, Davey, and I'm really glad actually that you've had the chance to give Bioshock the send off it needed, because it is an outstanding game. And as I said in the previous episode, I'd love to replay that game and go back to it on PlayStation, because my experience with that was on PC. So to see that difference now would be incredible, and that twist. Oof. Yeah. So my vote here is Uncharted 3.
Fair. I mean, I can't be mad. Uncharted 3 is Uncharted 3, innit? You know, it's an incredible game. Both incredible. Just the way it goes.
Here we go. Next up, we have Metroid Prime versus Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. I'm going to come to Davey. Why not give me your views first?
He doesn't know.
I don't know. I don't know what to do here. I'm going to vote for Metroid Prime. I adore this game. Honestly, I've said before, it's what I love about Metroid Prime is the way with the GameCube controller, it wasn't great, right? When it came to anything that wasn't like Smash, especially when you got a first-person shooter, which is what Metroid Prime is, and you've only got one functioning analog stick. It shouldn't really have played as well as it did, but it somehow did. Being able to like click in like the left bumper and go into the visor and be able to scan things just worked really, really well. And you still had, weirdly, a really good sense of movement in that game, even though it was first person, which was really kind of unheard of at that time, to be able to do platforming and it not be shit. And it just worked. It just worked. It was honestly, the graphics on that game when that launched blew everything out of the fucking water. I mean, it even blew Metal Gear Solid 2 out of the water, which was like PS2's technical marvel. It totally rocked that. It totally fucking fucked that right off. And did the same for Remake as well, which looked absolutely sensational at the time. Metroid Prime just surprised me on every single level. And as much as Call of Duty Modern Warfare revolutionized COD, and it revolutionized kind of multiplayer going forward then from there on out, it doesn't achieve what Metroid Prime did. And so for me, it's a truly special game. I got to give it that. What about yourself, Spence?
Well, this one isn't a hard vote, but it's a painful vote. Because I have to give it to Call of Duty. Because I haven't played Metroid Prime. But it hurts to do that. Because I do have so much respect for Metroid Prime and everything it's achieved. But I have to stick to my guns and be honest with myself. And that means my vote goes to Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare.
So it falls to me once again.
It does.
Again, a very difficult one. Played both games. Spent a lot of time, more so in Metroid than the Call of Duty that we've chosen for this bracket. And I think, yes, I would very much like to go back and play Metroid Prime again on the GameCube. It was an incredible experience, and it's a full game, right? There's much more story there. There's much more to go through and explore compared to Call of Duty. Obviously, Call of Duty, you're more talking about the online multiplayer. Metroid Prime is the full story, is the full experience. So my vote's going over to Metroid Prime on that one.
All right then. So up next we've got Street Fighter 2 and God of War 2018. Now, as much as I love Street Fighter 2, it ain't God of War. So for me, I've got to give it to God of War. I mean, there's no point in me harping on this. I speak about it every single fucking time Phil talks about God of War. I'm there to rep how much I love this game. It's my second favorite game on PlayStation 4, and it's the best in its own series, without a doubt. Superb game. Lads, what are you thinking on this, Phil? Where do you side with this one?
This one's a very difficult one to me because I hold the Street Fighter series so close to my heart through all the experiences we've had with, as I said in the last episode with us setting up tournaments and really breaking into that scene, making a lot of friends sort of in the Bristol and South Wales area, basically around fighting games. And of course, the guys out in London that we met up and played with. It's so hard because I've really been enjoying my time in God of War, and I can see that series. It means so much to PlayStation fans, and it's playing it now after all this time. And I've owned the game for a long time because I think you bought it me 2 Christmases before I'd even played it, right? And it's been sat on my shelf, and you've been poking me and prodding me and saying, Phil, you've got to play this game. And I'm really, really glad I have, because as I said, every time this comes up, I don't love it, but I like it. So I think my vote here is going to actually go for God of War over Street Fighter. God of War, it's the full experience. It's that story-driven game. Street Fighter, there ain't any story in Street Fighter. Who cares what's happening with, Blanka and Chun-Li, really, So God of War, it's getting my point.
Davey is wiping the sweat off his head. He is relieved.
I am. I was really surprised. I honestly, I thought that was going to be tighter than that. What are you thinking, Spence? How are you voting?
It's actually a very easy choice for me. If it was Street Fighter Third Strike, I'd give it the win. But it's not. It's Street Fighter 2. And I think God of War is just a much better game than Street Fighter 2 is. So God of War gets my vote as well. And it's a clean sweep 3-0.
Wow.
We knew this game would go far, considering it was the winner for IGN. And we all quite like this game.
Right, so next up, we have Super Smash Bros. Ultimate for the Nintendo Switch. This, Portal 2. This one's a bit of a pickle.
This one's tricky. This one's a tricky one.
But I don't think I'll falter. I think my vote remains the same as you'd expect. I love Portal 2, and it's done a lot for me, but not as much as Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Actually, Smash 4 did a lot more for me than Ultimate did, but Ultimate's a better game. Ultimate is where I started playing Cloud. It's huge. So I need to give the win to Ultimate. It's just a phenomenal game, and I would happily play it right now. I'd happily play Portal 2 right now, but I could play Ultimate all day. So it gets my vote. Phil, mate, up to you.
I think every game at this level we pretty much love, right? They're all beloved games, and as Davey said, they're either very lucky or they are at that sort of premium level. Super Smash Bros. Obviously means a lot to me, the same as you guys. Probably not as much because I didn't really enter into the competitive scene like you guys, but I do definitely love that series. But it'd be very hard for me to vote against Portal 2 at this stage because Portal 2 is such it's such a big game for my life, really. So I'm going for my vote for Portal 2. I'll leave it up to you, Davey, and please be kind to me.
I've been racking my brain while you guys have been thinking about this. And mulling over what you guys have each said. This time I'm going to rationalize it. When the next Smash game comes out, will I think about Ultimate ever again? No. No, I won't. I won't go back to it. When Portal 3 comes out, will Portal 2 still stand on its own as a fantastic experience? And yes, it will. And therefore, Portal 2 is moving forward, and Smash Ultimate is bowing out. It hurts me to do it. Smash Ultimate means a lot to me. I love that game. I've put more time into that than any other game this console generation, without a doubt, or last console generation. But it's not Portal 2.
That's crazy.
Portal 2's a landmark in video games. Smash ain't.
I don't want to submit the score.
You've got to press it, Spence.
You got to press it, mate.
I really don't.
How biased would this podcast be if Super Smash Bros. Won, right? Come on.
There's no shot at winning.
Oh Christ, this entire thing's biased. It's 3 of us forming an opinion and talking about a game. It's all bias. None of this is fact. This is all opinion. And that hurt me to do. It hurt me like you have no idea. What did it cost? Everything.
Okay, guys, after that bombshell, we've got Assassin's Creed Black Flag versus Metal Gear Solid. I already know where Davey's going to go with this one, so let's make it a bit interesting. Spencer, can you start us off?
I don't think I'm going to make it very interesting, mate. Not going to lie to you. It's going straight to Metal Gear Solid.
It's a game you haven't
Yeah.
played. How are you voting for
They're
a game?
both games.
Oh,
Mate, they're both games I haven't played, but I'm a lot more keen to play Metal Gear Solid than I am Black Flag.
fair.
So it has to go to Metal Gear Solid.
Davey?
Oh, come on. Come on.
I don't think we're even at a point where you really need to give a rationale.
No.
Because I'm with you on this one. Metal Gear Solid 3.0.
It's a clean sweep.
Let's push that forward.
easy.
Let's push things forward.
I'm surprised that Black Flag got that far, to be honest.
Me too.
They got very lucky to
Yeah.
get where it did. Who did it defeat on the run up? It
The
defeated
Witcher.
And Skyrim.
Skyrim.
The Witcher and Skyrim.
Which I voted against every single time.
So we're moving on to me, and it is Grand Theft Auto 5 versus Dark Souls. This is really easy for me. I'm voting for Dark Souls. Really easy. Not even a competition. I would have voted out Grand Theft Auto on the last round, but I was outvoted. Yeah, Dark Souls for me, easy. What about yourself, Phil? I know obviously you're a Dark Souls connoisseur lately.
I don't think I've got a chance whichever way I vote, because I think Dark Souls is gonna get towards the semi-finals, finals sort of era, isn't it? So let's push it on its way. Dark Souls over Grand Theft Auto for me.
Well, we don't even need to ask me, let's be honest. Dark Souls is phenomenal. GTA 5 is dumb fun. Dark Souls takes it easy.
Yep.
Much better game. Much fucking better game. Next up, we have Journey versus the game we cannot mention 2. Phil, you can start this time.
I don't know really what there's to say here, because I can't mention the game that I want to vote for. So that one.
Fair enough.
I don't really want to take a shot next week or whenever we're recording next.
Yeah, it's a 3-0. It's a 3-0. Journey's a fantastic experience. I mean, I really, I've spoken about it the last couple of rounds, and it's done amazing to get this far. It deserves to get this far, if not further. But it's up against, the game that can't be mentioned too. And I mean, what you gonna do? Just the way the cookie crumbles.
It is a shame.
It's the way it goes.
It is a shame. Yeah, it is a shame. Journey is fantastic, but
They're all fantastic games at this stage, apart from
I know.
Black Flag.
Yeah, I don't know how the fuck that got so far.
Like,
Jesus.
The game we can't mention too is just the perfect trifecta. It's a perfect Resident Evil. Oh,
Oh!
Resident Evil.
gutted, mate.
Yeah,
Gutted.
baby. It happened. So he took a
Us
shot
too.
last week. And he's taking another one again. Oh, baby.
Get some
Oh.
fireball in you, Spence.
Jesus.
A nice hot shot for you.
I should have just stayed quiet and hit some mid scores.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a 3-0. It's a 3-0.
Yeah. So that result concludes the end of round 3. So we are now at round 4, which is the semi-finals. This is big. This is where it's going to get really difficult for a lot of us moving forward. Round 3, we lost a lot of heavy hitters, and it was for a sad moment that came in round 3. And this round now is going to get even worse. So the first matchup we got is The Last of Us versus Uncharted 3. Phil, why don't you start us off on this one?
Okay, so with both these games, I think I've played them both. I've completed both of these games. Love both of these games, but they both entered my life in very different ways. So for Uncharted, absolutely love the series from day dot, and have bought every one along the line. And yes, they are some of the best games that I've ever played. And I love going out with Nathan Drake and seeing his little adventures with Sully. It's just awesome. And playing the online with yourself, Davey. We've had some really good times. The Last of Us, I was very much against this game when it first came out because of the overly positive reception it was immediately getting. It kind of felt like the whole cyberpunk kind of situation where everyone automatically loved it and didn't entirely play it. But years later, I think, Davey, you pushed me into it, and I'm glad you did. It's an incredible game, and again, it's a game that I'd love to go back and play, so potentially in a spoiler cast from the past. I think this game is probably going to go all the way, and maybe we'll see it in the finals or semi-finals at least. So it's going to be so hard for me to vote for Uncharted here. But yeah, I think The Last of Us will take it for me.
That's my boy.
I mean, Spence, we know how you're going to vote. I'm going to join you on that. The Last of Us is a step up from Uncharted 3. It shows the evolution that Naughty Dog had gone through. From Uncharted 3, they moved straight into The Last of Us. And the two teams had split up at the time. They had one studio originally, which made Uncharted 2. And then they split the studio in half. And half of them went off to do Uncharted 3. And the same team that did Uncharted 2 went off to do The Last of Us. And that was the only time that Naughty Dog have ever been split. They're now working as one cohesive unit again. So
it was just a step up in every kind of department, like just even like storytelling is just on a whole different level when it comes to The Last of Us if you compare like Uncharted. So it would be so difficult for me to vote any other way with this game.
Yeah. It's a clean sweep. Uncharted's had a great run, but this is where it meets its own doom, and it is a team knockout for Naughty Dog. They are crushing themselves, but Last of Us moves on with another clean sweep, 3-0.
Let's go. I didn't even have to say anything.
No, we
Let's
know.
get it, baby.
we know, mate.
So for our next set, and one that's probably going to pain Davey a substantial amount, we have Metroid Prime versus God of War 2018. Now, I'm not going to start this time. I know this is going to be rough for Davey, so I'm going to make him face his fears head on. Davey, you go first.
Oh, this is hard. This is hard because I love Metroid Prime. But God of War is just a whole level above. Hearing Christopher Judge, boy. Oh, I can't wait for the sequel. I can't wait to see Thor. Yeah. The God of War 2018 is just a masterpiece. It's a masterpiece game. And as revolutionary as Metroid Prime was, the story ain't hitting that. The story ain't hitting as hard as that does. No way. Yeah, easy God of War for me. Phil, what are you thinking?
How worried are you, Davey?
I'm not overly worried, I gotta say. I'm not overly worried at this. It's the next round that's going to be tough.
Okay, you've seen through my deception, because my vote would go for the God of War over Metroid Prime. Again, we're going back to storytelling, as I was talking about with The Last of Us and Uncharted. It's just on a whole different level. I know the games, there's quite a big time difference, so people have learned lessons. But yeah, the God of War is just on a different level, and it was the winner for IGN. So a lot of people out there love it, and I'm sure listeners, you'll be feeling the same way as me if it comes up against Metroid Prime, that you would vote this way. So God of War will take the W here.
Spencer, how would you have voted on this?
Well, I've not played Metroid Prime, really. And I loved God of War. So it's not really much to say. God of War clean sweeps.
Davey, I can see you sweating on this one straight away, because I think you know the way this is going to turn out. So we have... It might be different. We'll have to see what Spencer... I'm sure he'll be the casting vote here, so I might leave him to last. I know I'm going to be voting here for Portal 2. Davey, I know you're going to be voting for Metal Gear Solid. Am I right?
Yeah, 100%.
So to move this on quickly, because I'm sure we have a lot to say, and we'll probably arc back to these games. Spence, give us the deciding vote.
I can see the worry in Davey's eyes. This is actually amazing. So as everyone knows, I said it last episode, I've said it on this episode, I've not played Metal Gear Solid 1, unless you count Twin Snakes, which you don't.
No. no, definitely don't count Twin Snakes.
but I've played the living shit out of Portal 2, and I adore Portal 2. So, Davey, I'm really sorry to say, but Portal 2 takes the win.
I honestly thought we'd get to a point where it was going to be The Last of Us and Metal Gear in the final. And I thought that would be tough. Seeing it go out to Portal 2, I mean, I can't be mad. Portal 2 is an incredible experience. Just Psycho Mantis, man. Psycho Mantis is better than anything in Portal 2.
Better than GLaDOS?
Oh, God, yeah. God, yeah. I didn't see.
Better than the companion cube?
I didn't see that robot move my controller across the floor using just psychic power. I just didn't see that. Never mind. Rip Metal Gear. At least you did better than you did in IGN's version. Alright. We got Dark Souls, and we got the game that can't be mentioned too. And do you know what? I feel like I want to give myself a shot in the next one after Metal Gear took that L, so I wish it was Resident Evil Remake.
Resident Evil.
Because that would make this way harder than it is. I'm voting for Dark Souls on this. I prefer Dark Souls to Resident Evil 2.
Resident Evil.
I'm at that point now, I just don't really give a shit.
Just because Metal Gear's gone out.
Metal Gear's gone. Fuck my life. So
That's crazy.
What are you guys voting for? I'm going for Dark Souls all the way on this. If it was the first entry in the series that can't be mentioned, it would be a different kettle of fish, but it's not. And as I said before, my ranking would be 1, 3, 2. So 2 ain't on that level for me. Not Dark Souls level. Phil, I can imagine what you're going to vote for.
I'm a massive Souls fan, as you know. But this time it's come up against one of my favourite games of all time, and I can see if it gets through the next round, the next pick is going to be quite tasty for me. But I'm not sure where Spencer's going to go. But I'm going to pick the game that cannot be mentioned too. I absolutely love the original. OG, baby.
Oh, it's down to me. This one sucks. I think this is the hardest one so far. Oh my god. I'm just staring at it. I know what I want to pick. I know which one I want to pick. And so I'm just going to go with my gut and choose it. Oh, fuck me. It's Dark Souls.
Wow. I did not expect that.
We don't have a Dark Souls button, remember that.
No.
Wow.
But I've put too many hours into Dark Souls. And granted, I do think the games we can't mention are games similar to Souls where if I platinum them, I will still revisit them because they're that good. Dark Souls is timeless. I could play it till the day I die. I adore those games. So it gets the win from me.
Dark Souls
Wowee.
Dark Souls actually went out to Batman Arkham City in the IGN vote, just to give you some context there.
It's criminal.
Crazy. Okay, so we are now in the semi-finals. Any games that I've got here are hugely important to us as individuals and to games on the whole. The first one we've got here, The Last of Us or God of War. I'm just fucking staring at it. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I think it's got to be The Last of Us. I think it has to. I'm trying to remember my original experience with God of War when I finished it. I know that I put it as the best game on PS4 when I finished it, but I don't think I would have put it up there with Last of Us. Last of Us literally blew me away. I was literally so close to thinking it was better than the Metal Gear Solid for a little while. I loved it so much. And it just made me really upset. It just made me really, it just really messed me up. You know, learning that Joel's a bad guy. You know, he's a bastard. And learning that just really kind of got me. Like, that ending of that game just really fucked me up for years. And I think with God of War, it's just hype. Like, the entire way you're going through it is just moving at such a great pace. It's so well paced. The story is just incredible, and seeing your relationship with Atreus just grow over the course of the game, with your strength rising, you know, getting back the Blades of Chaos is one of the hypest moments of PS4 generation for me. Seeing that and the music kicking in, going on, just everything that happens in that game. I don't want to spoil it for anybody. Unfortunately, hype just doesn't beat emotion. I've got to give it to Last of Us, and that one really hurts. That's a really, really hard one to go through. Boys, I imagine it's a clean sweep. Spence is holding up. For you blind listeners and you blind YouTube watchers out there, Spence is holding up the Platinum Trophy. He's kissing it now. He's licking. Oh, he's licking it. He's licking it. I bet you wish you had one of those ASMR microphones now, Spence.
I do, mate.
Don't go too R-rated because our videos will get rated down or blocked. You might need an age rating on it, so be careful where you go with that trophy, Spence.
I'm going to bed with it, mate.
That'll be on your only.
So
it'll be on your OnlyFans later, will it?
It will.
So we know, obviously, Spence, you're going to be voting for The Last of Us. Phil, what would you have voted for?
I think both of these games have come off sort of heavy recommendations from yourself, Davey, and I'm glad I've played them both. I think, as I've said multiple times now, I don't love God of War. I like the game, but I do love The Last of Us. I think both of these games, they are just how you should tell a story in a video game, and they really, really stand out to me, and I'm really glad I've played through both of these games. So yeah, my vote here is The Last of Us over God of War, unfortunately.
Let's go. Let's go. Yes.
So over to you, Spence.
I can't believe these games are here, not going to lie. I didn't expect this.
Nor me. Could have sworn there'd be Metal Gear there. Could have sworn it.
Sorry, mate. So for our next round, and our final round before the grand finals of this bracket, we have Portal 2 versus Dark Souls. I know what my choice is, but I'm going to hold on to it in the meantime. Phil, I want you to start.
I hate you guys because I already know the way you're going to vote on this. You just gang up on me every single time on this podcast. This is why I need Potato Chief on here to like even things out, right? Because I just know my favorite game is going to go out at this stage. My vote is obviously Portal 2. It means so much to me. I absolutely love the series. I love the game. And I'm crushed that Half-Life went out so early, but it did come up against another one of my favorite games, which, fair enough, unfortunately. Sorry, Gordon Freeman. But yeah, my vote here is Portal 2. So let's see you guys vote for the same thing now.
Yeah. Easy vote. Not even a concern. Yeah, Dark Souls for me, 100%, without a shadow of a doubt. As much as I love Portal 2, as much as a fantastic experience it is, and as much as it really did drive kind of comedic storytelling in video games, and the whole like Aperture Lab section in that game, like the old lab section with J.K. Simmons, is just exceptional. I'm not looking at Big Mama Milkers, which I am in Dark Souls. I'm not going up and bowing down in front of the goddess, the sun, and seeing those heavy, big chest ahead. You know, I'm not seeing any of that. I'm not praising the sun there, and Dark Souls is just where it is.
Unsurprisingly, completely agree with you, mate. Dark Souls phenomenal. I'm not gonna take my time with this. 2-1.
3-1.
4-1. 3-1. It's that good. 2-1. Dark Souls takes it.
So, listeners, that brings us on to the grand finals So, we have got The Last of Us up against Dark Souls. Jesus Christ, what were the seeds of these two?
Last of Us was seeded 16th, and Dark Souls was seeded 51st.
Oh my god. Wow, and to get all the way here to the final.
It's crazy.
Jesus Christ.
What a biased tournament.
Well, I'm not exactly happy with either of these, to be fair.
I didn't think that either of these would get here, not gonna lie.
Really thought The Last of Us would go out to something.
Me. I thought it would, yeah, I thought it would. I thought we'd get up against something that just I don't know what that would be.
What?
Metal
What would it
Gear.
be?
Metal
Shut
Gear. It's the only thing I was thinking Metal Gear's going to take it out. And Metal Gear's going to ride into the sunset with Castlevania Symphony of the Night as the two best games on this list. But no, it hasn't happened. So, I'm going to vote on this one, unsurprisingly, for The Last of Us. The Last of Us, I love Dark Souls more than anything. I ain't getting emotional at Dark Souls. I ain't getting... It's just not happening. It's just not happening. I mean, I hate seeing my son bro get a maggot on his head and die. But... and I hate beating up Sif to the point that it's limping. You know, that wolf's limping in front of me and I got to put it out of its misery. Just so I can get the Lord Vessel and kill the 4 kings. It ain't hitting the same way as seeing Ellie there on a doctor table. So, no, The Last of Us gets my vote. Spence, what are you putting on this?
You asking me? Are you serious?
No, I don't know.
That's
You're
crazy.
the guy fucking praising the sun symbols on the last round.
Oh yeah, I adore Dark Souls, but come on, let's not be fucking stupid. It's Last of Us, mate. Last of Us wins this 3. You said you didn't think either of these games would get you. I'm amazed Dark Souls did. I am amazed Dark Souls did. But Last of Us, come on, man. It's the fucking Last of Us. Of course it's winning. I knew Last of Us was winning when we started this.
Did you? I didn't. I really didn't.
I knew. It's
I think
such
there was a
phenomenal
couple
game.
of situations where it could have got voted the other way.
Nah.
I think so, yeah. It would just have to be something
Not
that
in
me
my
and
mind.
David both love. Something like Metal Gear would have beaten it because we were both
Yeah.
voted Metal Gear over The Last of Us, I think. But
Shame.
as we've been saying throughout this podcast and YouTube supplemental, that's the way the cookie crumbles.
So, Phil, I take it you're making it a 3-0.
It's going to be a clean sweep for the final here. You know, there's been lots of games throughout this whole bracket, and I've really enjoyed going through there and reminiscing about some of them. You know, Half-Life, Portals, Metal Gear, and of course the game that cannot be mentioned too. You know, these are the standouts for me. I tried my best to push them forward and try and convince you guys that they should have all ended up a bit higher in these brackets, but unfortunately I've just got voted out on this one. So The Last of Us, I do agree with you guys. It's a better game than Dark Souls from what I've played anyway.
And that is it, listener. So we have done it. We have gone through and corrected IGN's list. All the seeding, remember, was done through Metacritic, so we did not seed it ourselves to make it as fair as possible as we went through this. And it just turns out that ours is very different from IGN's list. Now, of course, IGN's list was voted for the public, and this was voted by us 3, which means that this one is immediately better than IGN's. But that's just my take on this. I'd love to know what you think about the bracket that we've done on this and the winner, which is The Last of Us. Write into the show. You can do so via our email, pswetrust@gmail.com.
I'll be posting on Reddit and putting a full breakdown of these brackets for you guys to discuss. The URL will be in the description for the Reddit.
And also feel free to reach out to us on Twitter @NPSWeTrust or any of our individual Twitter accounts, also in the description below.
And that has been it for this supplemental. Remember, we are getting really close now to the end of the first poll for Spoilercast from the past. So make sure to go into the description of the podcast or into the YouTube description and vote. Vote for which game you want to see. Is it going to be Metal Gear Solid? Is it going to be Heavy Rain? Or is it going to be Devil May Cry? That is up to you. Now, thank you very much for listening. If you've enjoyed the show and you want to support us, the best way to do it is to review the podcast. Don't even have to put much on there. Just put great show, 5 stars. That's all we need. And all it helps us is to get out there in front of a wider audience. Thank you ever so much for listening. I've been Davey.
I've, of course, been Phil.
And I've been Spencer.
Take care, guys.
Peace.
In PS We Trust is hosted by Davey, Phil, and Spencer. You can write into the show via our email, pswetrust@gmail.com. Our Twitter is @InPSWeTrust. To find each of us online, follow our Twitters, @SSJDavey, @PhilipHoy, @SpenPie_. Thank you for listening. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other. See ya.